Don't come to the funeral. My sister Bethany's voice was cold through the phone. What? Bethany, it's Dad's funeral. Of course I'm coming. No, you're not. You'll make a scene. You'll cry too much. You'll make it about you. Mom and I agreed. It's better if you stay away. I sat in my Seattle apartment, stunned. Our father had died 3 days ago. Heart attack. He was 62. You're telling me I can't attend my own father's funeral? I'm telling you that we want a dignified service, not a spectacle. You're too emotional, too dramatic. Just stay home, Claire. Send flowers. We'll tell people you couldn't make it. I'm coming. You can't stop me. If you show up, I'll have security remove you. I mean it. This is Dad's day, not yours. She hung up. That was November 2023. I didn't go to the funeral. I watched it live-streamed from my apartment, sobbing alone. Cut contact with Bethany and Mom completely. 8 months later, the day before her wedding, Bethany showed up at my door, makeup smeared, wedding dress and a garment bag over her arm, holding a key and a bank document. Claire, I need you. Right now. Dad's safety deposit box. The bank just called. They said there's something in it. Something about the will, about money, about secrets, and they won't open it without both of us present. Please, the wedding is tomorrow. I need to know what's in that box. What that box contained destroyed everything she thought she knew. And what Dad had hidden for 30 years, it changed both our lives forever. If you've ever been excluded from a funeral by your own family, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything to me. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Has a family member ever told you not to attend something important? Let's talk about it. Now, back to my story. Let me take you back. November 2023. My name is Claire Morgan. I was 32 years old, living in Seattle, Washington, working as a graphic designer for a small agency, making $62,000 a year. My family lived in Portland, Oregon. My father, Daniel Morgan, my mother, Patricia, my older sister, Bethany, who was 35. Dad and I were close, always had been. He was the one who encouraged my art, who paid for my design classes, who believed in me when I wanted to move to Seattle and pursue my career. Mom and Bethany were different. They were a unit, practical, conservative. They thought art was a hobby, not a career, thought I was wasting my potential. When Dad died suddenly, I was devastated. I took emergency leave from work, booked a flight to Portland, called Mom. I'm coming home. I'll be there tomorrow morning. Claire, wait. Let me talk to Bethany first. About what? Dad died. I'm coming home. Just let me call you back. An hour later, Bethany called instead. Claire, we need to talk about the funeral. What about it? Mom and I have been planning. We want something small, dignified, quiet, just close family and Dad's business associates. Okay, when is it? Saturday. But Claire, we think it's better if you don't come. My blood went cold. Excuse me? You're very emotional, very demonstrative. Dad's colleagues will be there, important people. We need this to be professional, respectful, not a big dramatic display. I'm his daughter, not a stranger. You're the daughter who moved away, who barely visited, who was always too busy with your art career to come home for holidays. Mom and I were the ones here, taking care of him, being present. I visited every 2 months. I called every week. It wasn't enough. And now you want to show up and cry and make it about you? No, we're not doing that. Bethany, I have a right to say goodbye to my father. You have a right to remember him privately. But the funeral is for family who were actually here, who actually cared. I did care. Then respect our wishes. Stay away. Send flowers. We'll tell people you were too overwhelmed to attend. Everyone will understand. If I show up anyway, I'll have security escort you out. I'm serious, Claire. Don't test me. She hung up. I called Mom. She answered, hesitant. Mom, Bethany says I can't come to the funeral. Tell me that's not true. Silence. Then, Claire, honey, maybe it's for the best. You are very sensitive, and Bethany's right. It needs to be dignified. I'm his daughter. So is Bethany, and she's handling everything. I think we should trust her judgment. You're agreeing with this? You're telling me not to come to my own father's funeral? I'm saying maybe you should consider whether your presence would help or hurt. I hung up, cried for hours, then made a decision. I wouldn't go. If they wanted me gone, I'd be gone. But I'd never forgive them. Saturday came. The funeral was at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I watched the live stream on my laptop in my apartment, alone. The service was at a nice funeral home. About 50 people attended. I recognized Dad's business partners, some family friends. Mom in the front row, composed. Bethany next to her, perfectly dressed, dry-eyed. The pastor talked about Dad's life, his business success, his family, his integrity. Bethany gave a eulogy, talked about what a great father he was, how he taught her about business, about responsibility, about being strong. She never mentioned me, not once. Mom spoke briefly, thanked everyone for coming, said Dad was at peace now, no mention of me, like I didn't exist, like I wasn't his daughter, too. I sobbed through the entire service, alone in my apartment, wishing I could be there, wishing I could say goodbye properly. After the service, I saw people hugging Mom and Bethany, offering condolences. I wondered what they told people when someone asked about me. "Where's Claire?" "Oh, she couldn't make it. Too difficult for her. You know how sensitive she is." I blocked their numbers, deleted them from social media, made the decision right there. I was done, with both of them, forever. The months passed. I threw myself into work, got promoted, senior designer, $72,000, moved into a better apartment, built a life without them. I thought about Dad every day, wished I could have said goodbye, wondered why he didn't leave instructions preventing them from excluding me. Then, 8 months later, my phone rang. Unknown Portland number. I almost didn't answer. "Hello?" "Claire, it's Bethany." I almost hung up, but something in her voice stopped me. Panic. "What do you want?" "I need your help. Please. I know you hate me. I know what I did was unforgivable. But something's happened. With Dad's estate. Something we didn't know about. And I can't handle it alone." "What are you talking about?" "There's a safety deposit box at Dad's bank. We didn't know about it. The bank just contacted me. Said it's been 8 months since Dad died, so they're required to inform all listed key holders. Apparently both our names are on it." "Both our names?" "Yes, you and me. Not Mom, just us. And they won't open it unless we're both present. They said those were Dad's explicit instructions." "Why would Dad do that?" "I don't know. But the bank said there are documents inside, important documents related to his will and estate. Claire, my wedding is tomorrow. Tomorrow. And now there's this mystery box that apparently affects the inheritance. I need to know what's in it before I get married." "Why does it matter before your wedding?" "Because Brian, my fiancé, and I signed a prenup, based on my expected inheritance. If there's something in that box that changes the estate, the prenup might be invalid, or need to be redrafted. I need to know. Today." Against every instinct, I said, "I'll meet you at the bank. 2 hours. Don't be late." I drove to Portland. The entire drive, I questioned my sanity. Why was I helping her, after what she did? But I needed to know, too, what was in that box. Why did Dad list both our names? I arrived at the bank. Bethany was already there, standing outside, wedding dress and a garment bag over her arm. She looked exhausted. "Thank you for coming." I didn't respond, just walked past her into the bank. We met with a bank manager, Mr. Williamson. He'd known Dad for years. "Ladies, I'm glad you're both here. Your father left very specific instructions about this box. He added it to his account 8 years ago, said it wasn't to be opened unless both daughters were present together, and not until 8 months after his death." "Why 8 months?" Bethany asked. "He didn't say, but he was very clear, both of you, together, after 8 months." He led us to the vault, retrieved the box, brought us to a private room. "Take your time. When you're finished, just let me know." He left us alone with the box. Bethany and I stared at it. Medium-sized, metal, locked. Do you have the key? I asked. She pulled it from her purse, hands shaking. They mailed it to me yesterday. Just one key. Guess we're supposed to share. She unlocked the box, opened it slowly. Inside were documents, lots of them, and a sealed envelope with both our names written on it in Dad's handwriting. Claire and Bethany opened together. Bethany picked up the envelope, broke the seal, pulled out a handwritten letter. We read it together, silently, and with every word my understanding of everything shattered. My dear Claire and Bethany, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And if you're reading this together, that means 8 months have passed. Enough time for you both to make mistakes. Enough time for the truth to matter. Bethany, I know what you did. I know you told Claire not to come to my funeral. I know you convinced your mother to go along with it. I knew you would do this, because you always saw Claire as competition, as someone who took my attention away from you. I'm writing this letter to tell you both the truth, about our family, about money, about why I structured things the way I did. First, the inheritance. Bethany, you think you're getting everything. The house, the business, the investments. Your mother told you that's what my will says. She lied. My will actually splits everything equally, 50-50, between you and Claire. Always has. I never changed it. But your mother wanted you to think you were getting more. She wanted you to feel superior, to feel chosen. I knew she'd do this after I died, so I let her think the will said what she wanted it to say. But the real will is in this box, witnessed, notarized, legal. Second, the business. Bethany, you think you're inheriting my company? You're not. I sold it 2 years ago for $3.2 million. I never told anyone. The money is in a trust, split equally between my daughters. You'll each receive $1.6 million. No conditions, no strings. Just my love and my hope that you'll use it wisely. Third, the house. Your mother thinks she's living there until she dies. Then it goes to you, Bethany. That's not what's happening. The house is paid off. It goes to Claire. Completely. I know she was always my creative one, my sensitive one, the one who needed more security, not less. Patricia can stay until she chooses to move, but the house belongs to Claire. Finally, the truth about why I did this. Bethany, you were always your mother's daughter. Practical, logical, focused on success and status. You'll be fine. You're marrying well. You have your career. You don't need my money to survive. You want it, but you don't need it. Claire, you were always my daughter. Creative, sensitive, brave enough to follow your dreams even when it meant less money, less security. I'm so proud of you. This inheritance is my way of telling you that your choices were valid, that art matters, that you matter. I knew Bethany would exclude Claire from my funeral. I knew Patricia would let her. That's why I waited 8 months. I wanted Claire to feel the sting of that rejection, to understand that some family members will never value her. And I wanted Bethany to feel secure in her cruelty, so that when this truth came out, she'd understand the cost of her actions. My dear daughters, I loved you both, but I liked one of you more. Claire, that was you. You were kind, genuine, real. Bethany, you were calculating, manipulative, like your mother. I hope this inheritance teaches you what actually matters. Claire gets the house, $1.6 million, and my genuine love. Bethany gets $1.6 million and a lesson. Maybe that lesson is worth more than money. Maybe not. Time will tell. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you both better in life. I hope this protects Claire in death. Love always, Dad. We finished reading. Bethany's hands were shaking, face pale. He sold the business? 2 years ago, I said, still processing. We each get $1.6 million. He left you the house? Yes. He said he liked you more? Yes. Bethany set down the letter, looked at me. I don't understand. Why would he do this? Punish me like this? You excluded me from his funeral. He knew you would. He warned you right there in the letter. How could he know? I pulled out my phone, showed her my text history with Dad, messages from a year before he died. Dad, if something happens to me, Bethany will try to exclude you from the funeral. Don't let her break you. You're my daughter, too. My favorite daughter, if I'm honest. I'm setting up a safety deposit box. For after. So you'll know the truth. Me. Dad, don't say that. We're both your daughters. Dad. You're my daughter in every way that matters. She's just related to me. There's a difference. Bethany stared at the messages. He told you. He told you what I'd do. He knew you. Better than you knew him. Bethany stood up, started pacing. This ruins everything. Everything. What do you mean? My prenup. Brian and I signed a prenup based on me inheriting $3 million plus the house. That's what Mom told me the will said. But now I'm only getting $1.6 million. And no house. That's less than half what we agreed on. So renegotiate the prenup. The wedding is tomorrow. We can't renegotiate a prenup the day before a wedding. And if Brian finds out Mom lied about the inheritance, he'll wonder what else we lied about. Did you lie about other things? She didn't answer, just kept pacing. Bethany? I may have exaggerated some things about my trust fund, about Mom's assets, about our family wealth. Brian comes from money, real money. I needed him to think I was on his level. So you lied. I positioned things favorably. You lied. She spun around. You don't understand. Being with someone like Brian requires a certain image, a certain status. I couldn't tell him the truth. That we're comfortable but not wealthy. That Dad's business was good but not great. That our house is nice but not a mansion. So you invented a wealthier version of your life. I enhanced it. And now Dad's letter exposes everything. If I show Brian this, he'll call off the wedding. Maybe you should tell him the truth. I can't. I've put a year into this wedding. $80,000 in deposits. The venue is booked. The guests are arriving. My dress cost $15,000. I can't call it off now. So what are you going to do? She looked at me, desperate. I need you to lie. What? Tell Brian the letter says something different. That Dad did leave me most of the estate. That you're getting a small amount, but I'm getting the bulk. Please, Claire. I know I don't deserve your help, but I'm begging you. You want me to lie about Dad's will so your fiancé doesn't find out you lied about your wealth? Yes. No. Claire, please. You told me not to come to Dad's funeral. You said I'd make a scene, that I was too emotional, too dramatic. You excluded me from saying goodbye to my own father, and now you want me to lie for you? I was wrong about the funeral. I know that now. I'm sorry. You're sorry now that you need something from me. I'm sorry because I was cruel. I was protecting myself, protecting my image. I didn't want you there because I knew people would compare us, would see that Dad loved you more, and I couldn't handle it. Dad didn't love me more. He just liked who I was better. That's worse. He chose you over me. His whole life, he chose you. Because I was real. I didn't pretend to be someone I'm not. Unlike you. She started crying. Please, Claire, I know I hurt you, but I'm desperate. If Brian calls off this wedding, I'll be humiliated. Everyone will know. Everyone will ask why. I can't face that. I looked at her. Really looked at her. This was my sister. The woman who excluded me from our father's funeral. Who made me watch from afar while she pretended I didn't exist. Who only contacted me when she needed something. No, I won't lie for you. Show Brian the letter. Tell him the truth. If he loves you, he'll marry you anyway. If he doesn't, better to know now than after. You're really going to let me lose everything? I'm going to let you face consequences. There's a difference. Bethany left the bank, took the letter, took her wedding dress. I stayed behind with Mr. Williamson, signed the paperwork. The house was mine. The trust was set up. Everything Dad promised. I drove back to Seattle, waited. The next day, Bethany's wedding was scheduled for 4 p.m. At 3:30, my phone rang. Mom's number. I answered. Claire, what did you do? What do you mean? Bethany showed Brian that letter, the one from your father. Brian called off the wedding, 30 minutes before the ceremony. The guests are all there, the vendors are set up, and the groom is gone. What did Brian say? That he can't marry someone who lied about their family's wealth, who built their relationship on deception, that if she lied about this, she'd lie about everything. He just left, just drove away. I'm sorry that happened. You're sorry? You could have lied for her. You could have protected your sister. I could have, but I chose honesty, like Dad did. Your father was cruel, setting this up, punishing Bethany for one mistake. It wasn't one mistake, Mom. It was a pattern of cruelty, of exclusion, of valuing image over truth. Dad saw it. He tried to teach her. She didn't learn. So now she's learning the hard way. She's your sister. She's the person who told me not to come to Dad's funeral. She made that choice. Now she's living with the consequences of her choices, just like I lived with the consequences of being excluded. Mom hung up on me. An hour later, Bethany texted. Just 2 words. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. 6 months have passed. I inherited the house, sold it. Didn't want to live there. Too many memories, too much pain. Sold it for $650,000. Added to the $1.6 million from the trust. I bought a beautiful loft in Seattle, started my own design studio, hired 2 employees, building something real. Bethany? She canceled the wedding, lost all her deposits. Brian never spoke to her again. Word got around their social circle about what happened, about the lies, about the inheritance dispute. She moved out of Portland. Last I heard, she's in San Francisco, starting over, working in marketing, making decent money, but nothing like the life she thought she'd have. Mom and I don't speak. She blamed me for Bethany's humiliation, said I should have protected my sister. I told her she should have protected both her daughters. She hung up. We haven't spoken since. Dad's letter sits framed in my studio. Not the whole thing, just one line. Claire, you were always my daughter. Creative, sensitive, brave enough to follow your dreams even when it meant less money, less security. I'm so proud of you. People ask why I keep it visible. I tell them it's a reminder that someone saw me, really saw me, and chose me, not for what I could do for them, but for who I was. I'm Claire Morgan. I'm 33 years old. My sister told me not to attend our father's funeral, said I'd make a scene, be too emotional, too dramatic. 8 months later, the day before her wedding, she showed up desperate. Dad's safety deposit box revealed the truth about his will, about his business, about who he really valued. He left me the house and half the money. But more than that, he left me a letter telling me I mattered, that my choices were valid, that I was his favorite. My sister lost her wedding, lost her fiancé, lost the future she'd built on lies. I gained financial security, emotional validation, and the knowledge that my father truly saw me. Sometimes being excluded from something painful, like a funeral, is preparation for being included in something better, like truth, like inheritance, like knowing you were loved. Dad's death hurt. Missing the funeral hurt worse, but discovering that he set everything up to protect me, that healed something I didn't know was broken. Bethany thought she won by excluding me, but Dad made sure I won in the end, not because of money, but because of truth. The truth that I was enough, exactly as I was, and no amount of money can beat that kind of validation. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.